takes it, wheels around on his left foot. Liberatore and Jones both go to grounds. Jones up first, comes around, feeds a handball back. Lappin has time to settle. Kicks a goal, and kicks a goal.
I think that this is something that we'd planned that goes back 3 years now. At the end of my first year here, we realised that the way we were going was not the way to go, and some drastic moves were made within the club.
Harvey tries to take Simmons on, buys another 20 metres from hard on the boundary. That's a sensational kick.
St Kilda, Harvey.
The only vote on the ground, Dennis, you give a chance from here tonight.
Yes, it's been so accurate. The Saints are through after so many years in the wilderness. Are in the grand final.
And I doubt if there was anybody outside of the 42 who really would have thought that they had any hope of achieving what they did. These guys went on record amongst themselves, and I mean that's the biggest test. They sat down and they formulated a mission.
For the first time in 26 years, St Kilda played off on the last Saturday in September for the greatest prize in football, the AFL Premiership Cup. Nearly 100,000 people were at the Melbourne Cricket Ground to watch Stan Alves' men attempt the final leg of their year-long mission. The passion and emotion were overflowing. While the teams lined up for the singing of the national anthem, minds turned back to the very beginning. It all began on the 1st of March, an Ansett Australia Cup match against Sydney at Bruce Stadium in Canberra. The reigning premiers facing the Swans, who were without their star, Tony Lockett. It wasn't the most auspicious start to a special season. Another former Saint, Craig O'Brien, missed a tough shot that would have given Sydney victory. Instead, the Saints by a solitary point. Another heartstopper against Brisbane. This time a 3-point result for the Saints, their 6th win in the competition in a row. A kid called Hall bobbed up with 3 goals. The Saints by 3 points.
Beveridge is onto the ground and Barry Hall still one from the back.
Well, if he can keep taking marks up forward like that, he's got a real place in the game.
Yes, managed only 4 games last year, the boy from Broadford.
A 7-goal final quarter couldn't undo the damage done early when the Saints met Carlton in the semi-final. A rematch of the triumphant 1996 grand final was decidedly one way. Honour was partially restored as St Kilda steamed home. They would bow out. The margin, 10 points.
Turned his opponent inside out, down to low. Well played, Aussie Jones. St Kilda's first goal. Yes, sir.
Just as St Kilda had done a year earlier, the progress made in the pre-season competition was not carried on into the season proper. Against Hawthorn at night on the joint home territory of Waverley, the Saints would play only 1 winning quarter. A 5-goal third term reduced the margin from 4 goals to a kick.
Certainly not out of it. Harvey the hand pass to Daniels. Now Burke. Burke with distance from a standing start. Winmar this time.
Well, look, it's an amazing game for him, and it's a very much an intangible thing, but the momentum has just swung St Kilda's way here. You can just sense it all over the ground, and now a guy who's been down all night he's been picked up for the ride and having a shot at goal.
Once you see the ball coming in there about 1 foot pace away from the fall of the ball, as Winmar lines up a goal, and he rarely misses those types of kicks.
The Saints, though, did not go on with it, despite holding Hawk Trump Dunstall goalless.
Well, the kick was actually set up for Stuart Lowe there. Stewie got there a little bit early and was sitting under the ball. Winmar just great judgment and anticipation. As you can see, Harford left a couple of metres behind and great hands, and he's all of a sudden looking very dangerous down here.
And he can put the Saints in front.
He has done just that.
Gary Line, young Daniel Harford.
Lowe 3, Winmar and former Swan Troy Gray 2. Harvey St Kilda's best, and he would pick up his first 2 Brownlow votes of the year.
I think over pre-season we worked harder than last year. I think we developed our younger players more, and I think this year, although the job's only just begun for us, that's what's happened. We've developed into a pretty good side.
Darryl White again from half-back, spinning around.
Successive 7-goal quarters from the newly named Brisbane Lions left St Kilda flat-footed and listless in the sauna-like northern conditions. And it only seemed to go from bad to worse. 11 unanswered Brisbane goals saw the Saints staring down the barrel of a massive defeat. Brisbane booted a record score. The margin of 97 points, the best ever as well. The season was off to a shaky start.
Okay, now they've got an opportunity here to put it deep in towards low territory. Healy gets the hand pass away, goes back towards Cripps. Cripps kicks towards goal. They desperately need one, St Kilda.
Lowe, 2 of 7. Cripps, Burke and Brown, solid performers.
Out of defence, Jason Daniels.
Unbeaten Collingwood. St Kilda yet to register a win. 54,000 at Waverley were expecting a one-sided encounter. This would be the first we saw of the Saints of 97. Hard at the ball, prepared to put their bodies on the line.
Smith is going to bomb it in towards full forward. Everett. Yes, no. All the umpires played it. He's lucky. He did not hold it.
No, I don't know, Pete. I thought his arms were pulled away.
Well, it's a fine day. Surely you've got to hang on.
No, but then again, if you control the ball, as he does here, he goes up in front of Shaw.
Well, had a quick look up. He was on the blind side. Here's Everett for his second. He's gone, has he? Yes, he has.
Crow, though. Can Collingwood get one before the siren? Williams, was he tripped up or was he holding it? Crowd looks for a free kick. Everett does well.
Smart.
Gets it to Joel Smith. He kicks to half forward. That looks like that one has just come onto the ground. Winmar inside 50 and closing. He kicks and he goes, the champ.
Debutant Jason Heatley made his mark. 5 goals in his first senior game with the Saints after a brief career with the West Coast. Spider Everett kicked 6.
He's there at the back. Oh, it's a mark to Everett. Everett's come across the front of the pack and has taken a ripper. So there's the siren. He can put St Kilda in front here, and he does with his 3rd goal. What a great quarter of football all round by both sides. Here's Beveridge. Goes back with a hand pass. Joel Smith. Here's Everett. No mark. He's got it, the big fella. Oh, he's kicked his 4th. Tremendous play.
This was not a game for the faint-hearted. The blood rule used to the maximum.
Watson's on in the square. Oh, good mark. And this could be reversed here. Bad play by Alex McDonald. It's been reversed. Coughlin turns around.
Stephen Ziller would cop 2 weeks for striking Scott Russell. Scott Burns 2 for belting Lowe.
Caught. In went Gavin Brown. Well played by the captain. He breaks away Brown and drives it back, but it's all St Kilda. Receives from Daniels, and Robbie Harvey drives up towards half forward. It's no mark. Here's Brown. Tried to get in a hand pass. Aussie Jones latches onto it. Onto the left foot. Down towards the half forward line, or full forward line. Heatley used his body beautifully. Check side by Heatley. Oh, don't tell me he's kicked that. What a goal. That is magnificent.
After 2 6-goal quarters and a 23-point lead at half-time, the Saints squandered their chances in the 3rd. They let Collingwood step back and take the lead.
Comes out to Joel Smith. Smith on the left foot. Drives it down to Everett. Oh, chipping in to take the mark is Heatley into an open goal, and he puts it through the big full forward for number 4. Joel Smith underneath it, and he's got it on the left foot. Let's see, they need Everett here to take a mark. Oh, he's pushed out of it. Here's the brilliant Winmar, he's done it. Oh, it's another one. They're 4 points down. Gets onto his bike quickly. Gray in front. Joel, a kick by Heatley, and the mark is there. Joel Smith, he can be here, directly in front, shouldn't miss. He hasn't missed, it's a goal. St Kilda in front. Burke gets it towards half forward. Here's Joel down Troy Gray, I should say. Heatley can't take the mark. I nearly said Joel Gray, it's Troy Gray. Here's Harvey. Harvey races in. Robert Harvey gets it a hand pass. Here he is again, kicking a goal. Joel Smith. Oh, he's kicked another one. He's second.
The midfielders were magnificent in the final term. Aussie Jones with 8 kicks, Harvey 9 possessions, Burke 11. And Winmar topping off a game that saw him have the ball 27 times. St Kilda by 7 points. The drought had broken.
There was no contest. Heatley, can he kick his 5th? He's kicked 4-4, goes it goal. Long moments there, the Saints are home.
Everett 6, Heatley 5, with Young and Coghlan among the young players who showed much promise.
You know, the improvements from the Jones, Browns, Spider Everett, Lappins have just made it a lot easier for the more senior players. So now I think when sides are trying to match up against us, instead of sort of looking at 3 or 4 players, there really is, you know, probably a good dozen players really sharing the load.
Man does well. Such an important game.
The difference between St Kilda at its best and St Kilda at its worst was becoming vastly evident, almost a chasm. Take Sydney, for example. The 35,000 who went to Waverley that April night saw the Saints fritter away another good start.
Daniels prods it and sucks off the ground as Jack Daniels. First score to the Saints.
So maybe they'll be looking for him to scrounge a goal to just wrest the ascendancy away from the Swans. This is Harvey for St Kilda. He's kicked a full forward, goes through Everett. Pouncing on it. Here's a chance now for Trionides. He kicks a simple goal for St Kilda.
By three-quarter time, they trailed by 8 goals. Those who tipped St Kilda to make the 8 and followed up with some of their hard-earned at the lucky shot were wondering now about their mental state. The Saints rock bottom on the ladder. The performance-based contract on coach Stan Alves, a hot point of discussion in media circles. 5 players contributing 2 goals apiece, with Burke and Harvey St Kilda's best.
As Stan took the job on in a very difficult climate, we were stagnant, I guess is a word that I sort of choose carefully, insofar as we hadn't recruited that well. We had some sensational footballers with the club, and what we needed to do was to do something, what we did, and that was recruit very hard with a lot of young people. And so Stan came as an inexperienced coach. He's certainly got the support and has the support of the club that it was not going to happen overnight. I guess one of the good things I look back on is the members of this club were very supportive because typically they have always expected probably higher results than what we've been able to achieve. But the membership of the club, I mean the general feeling around the club was that this is not going to happen in 1 or 2 years, and I think everyone appreciated that with particularly seeing 18, 19-year-olds around, that was going to take a while. And I think for that reason everyone stuck together and realised it wasn't going to be an overnight thing.
The Anzac Day clash against the Dockers of Fremantle was typical of the Saints early in the season. Glimpses of brilliance, periods of absolute frustration. A 14-goal second quarter went the Dockers' way, 8-6, but the inspiration was there.
Taken away by Winmar. He's already booted a goal. Back to centre half forward. So Stewie Lowe pushing and shoving with O'Reilly. Beveridge kicks back towards the square. Great mark to Heatley. So from point-blank range, Heatley puts the Saints in front. 9-5-59 Fremantle, the Saints 6-6-42 after St Kilda hit the front in this second term. They now trail by 17 points. Harvey from inside 50. Pushing and shoving. Winmar does the shepherding. And he's kicked a goal. Does well, gets it back to...
The second half saw Stewie Lowe in complete control. 14 marks he'd take for the day, 10 after half-time.
Plays on quickly, sets it up to Beveridge. Clever play, and he bangs it home.
So testing time for the Dockers. They need to hold here if in fact they're going to win it. What a terrific mark. Directly in front from about 40 metres out. Maybe even a little closer. Big Stewie. Goes Goldwood. It's applauded home. Goal for the Saints.
Lowe's third early in the final term tied the scores. From then on, it would seesaw. The Dockers getting up by a goal.
So Stewie Lowe kicks a goal. He's kicked 3. Kick it at the back of the pack. Got past Beveridge. Falls over the critical moment. Norrish spent a lot of time on the interchange bench. Everett. This is a great snap right on the goal line as it bounced through. It's a goal.
Smith and Lowe 3 each. Winmar, Harvey and Smith among the better players for the Saints.
All in the centre circle. Saints with a breeze in this first term.
If 1997 was one of the most amazing seasons in the history of the AFL, the game against Melbourne in round 6 was a standout. The cellar dwellers of the AFL locked in combat at Waverley. St Kilda 15th, with 1 win and 4 losses. Melbourne 16th, 1 win and 4 losses. This was possibly the turning point of the season. The beginning of a huge run of success, though at the time, few would have guessed it.
It's contrary to their the result they want to achieve, the way they're playing at the moment.
Low for goal, the Saints second.
And really, fellas, Stewie Lowe did need that early goal to give himself a bit of confidence because he has been down.
All he has to do is make out he's having a legitimate attempt at the mark, which he wasn't, but he disguised it well as Stewie Lowe fades across the front of the pack there. And
Stewie Lowe for his second goal. Looks good. Goal. And Obst is still down after he reckons he got a whack to the jaw. Inside 50 the Saints. Winmar clean possession. Great hand pass to Lowe. Good hands by Stewie. Out wide he comes to Smith. 25 metres out. Winmar in the square. Goal.
It will be now. I dare say had it been further up the ground he might have got that free kick, but a bit of a 50-50.
Everett plays a bit of basketball. Edge of the square, Lowe. Well, the Demons are in heaps of bother here.
St Kilda had started shrewdly. Alves negating Melbourne's key, Jimmy Steins, with the hard-running Harvey. Lowe got the Saints off to the perfect start with 4 first-quarter goals. And from then on, it was all St Kilda.
And Steins caught lamenting behind. Closed the gap a bit. Kicked by Harvey to the 50. Hall in front. Spoiled by Gasper. Brown good to Winmar. On his own is Stewie Lowe. The kick in that direction.
Here, once again, Nettlebeck watched the ball go away from him. Stewie Lowe made the first movement to run the goals halves, and
well, this could be 4 in the first quarter for the co-skipper.
Pretty close. Who would you put on in halves?
Kick by Everett to centre half forward. Hall. A lovely kick. Fires off the hand pass. And a kick by Smith. Juggled by Peckett. Lowe's kicked 4 in the first quarter. Number 5.
Now Everett on the wrong side. Might look for the chaw kick. No, the old banana kick.
Oh, he's kicked it to me.
Opposite pocket. Thompson gets it going towards the goal square. Peckett's there. Off Everett's shins. Melbourne in all sorts of trouble here. Everett again. Well done, a goal.
Just fantastic play by the big fella to firstly have a shot for goal.
Play on, says the umpire.
Yeah, just because you lead your opponent to the ball doesn't mean he isn't there once you get it.
Harvey to Hall. Thompson. Nathan Burke. A goal. Harvey steers it in low. Comes off to Zilla.
The big torpedo, you don't see many of them these days.
Here's Everett. Hand pass to Burke. Centering kick, Thompson.
In the coaching manuals of football to say that you should get the ball if you're there from a mark in a coaching manual.
He's put it through.
Fair kick.
That's a good kick. Kicks in the forward line.
Shots on goal.
Usually a back pocket, mind you. Once as a back pocket, I saw Cousins kick 5 on him in a quarter. He's kicked it. Aussie Jones.
10 goals up at three-quarter time. The Saints would win by 86 points, their biggest win in 180 meetings.
Mark waited for it to come off hands. Back to Healy. Everett again.
He just kept moving backwards and forwards, side to side, behind Seacamp.
So Everett for his 5th goal. He's missed it. Oh, told you he missed it. Yeah, hit the post.
The big guns, Lowe and Everett, with 9 between them. Harvey 2 more. Brownlow votes. Lowe would get 3.
Obviously, you're still going to get Lowy. He's going to take his 10 grabs and kick a couple of goals, and Harves and Berkey are still going to get their 30 or odd possessions every game. So if Aussie Jones and all that can start doing that as well, it's only going to make us a better side.
Hall tried to knock it on. It's tapped by Adam Huskers.
Port Adelaide had won 4 games in a row when it arrived at Waverley for a Saturday night engagement in May. The run would end right there. Early goal set up the break in the first quarter.
This could result in a goal to Joel Smith. It has. He sent her back to do the ruck work here against Stuart Lowe. It's got a big task again, Darren Mead. It's shuffled out. Oh, danger here because Robert Harvey's got it on to Brown, who bends it around the corner. Great play to the Saints for a goal.
Well, by this stage of last week's game, Lowe had 4 goals against Melbourne. He's had 1 kick so far tonight. Peckett to Smith. Inside the 50. Jump by Wakeland. Comes to the front to Zilla. Zilla from 40 metres has kicked the goal. Kick by Mead. Everett is back there. And Campbell with a big jump from behind. And the free kick has been paid to Everett against Paxman. Lowe. Oh, what a grip. That's not a wet ball, is it? But he did do it.
No, I think Stuart Lowe often makes slightly damp balls look very dry.
Just about directly in front and kicking from 45 metres. That's his 2nd for the night.
Brings it to centre wing. No mark to Young. And very, very good Campbell. Here's Robbie Harvey. Driving at the half-forward. Everett, as Lee Matthews said, getting into that around about the half-forward area. Off he goes, Everett. He drives it in towards Winmar. And the crowd will love this.
No.
So Winmar for his 1st, and it's right through the middle.
Ball flipped out to Campbell. Good tackling Burgoyne. Back to Young. Up short of centre wing. Oh, magnificent. The hand pass comes out to Harvey. It came from Joel Smith. Whitmar! Goes on quickly, and here's Everett right in front. 25 metres from goal.
Harvey would gather kicks at will. Spider Everett, 20 kicks and 10 marks, outstanding. Up forward, Stuart Lowe, 5 goals. Jones just tremendous.
Comes to Smith on the 50. Lowe has it punched away. It comes to the front to Lappin. Everett again slides the hand pass to Burke, sets up a goal. Lappin follows up, balks well and kicks the goal. Kick goes wide to Brown. Juggles and marks centre wing. He's off. Brown to the 50. Hall. Bit of a favourite amongst the Saints fans, Barry Hall. Too far out to score. He's got Everett. He goes back to Jones. Jones improves to 50 and kicks long. What a goal by little Aussie Jones.
So So Brendan Lade to take on Peter Everett. Everett flicks it with the left hand to Smith, a very talented player. Lowe and Mead have had a terrific battle. Mead's done well under enormous pressure. On to Peckett. On to Lowe, who races into goal. Stewie Lowe for his third. He's kicked it.
Stuart Lowe, 3 goals tonight, all in the second half. Last week he got 5, all in the first half. All punched out, chopped off by Sirakoski. Brown to Harvey. And Hudgton back in to Brown. Here's Lowe again. Oh, what a mark. Make it 9 goals.
Even tonight in the losing side, Porter showing things, Lee, that says they're going to be a dangerous side.
Oh, yes. No, they've been around the action even though they're going to get beaten by a pretty big margin.
Here's Winmar laying it off for Nathan Burke, who sets it up. That was a very clever kick. A very, very clever kick that by Nathan Burke. And Lowe's going to end up with...
This was a win full of character. Suddenly the Saints are on the move, up to 11th with a rocket.
And it's another one, that's his 5th.
Another kick by Harvey. Front of the pack. Lappin's a live wire. Built like a piece of string. Hall. And Hall again.
5 more to Lowe. Smith and Winmar 3 apiece. The first of 7 3-voters for the medal to Robert Harvey.
Opportunity to centre forward. Lowe does the spoiling on Pryor.
14 first-quarter scoring shots give some idea of the power that St Kilda unleashed against Essendon when the two sides met at the MCG in round 8. The St Kilda midfield was unstoppable, Brown combining with Everett to help the Saints completely take charge.
A 1-point ball game. Just approaching the 9-minute mark of the first quarter. Brown, another possession to Zilla. He's got space out in half forward as Thompson. He can go, decides to do that. Runs right onto 50, gone over the back to Hall. He's got it. Pulled up by a broken toe in the second half, but no troubles with the toe now. He has a goal. Slaps it down in front. Left foot, drags it round towards the wing. Everett gathers it on the rebound. Good clean handball out to Zilla. And on again to Thompson.
Thompson on the wing then, kicking down towards the attacking 50, well inside. Winmar carried forward, no free. Burke the opportunity, into an open goal, gets the Saints third.
From a 28-point lead, the Saints would tumble into a 14-point deficit at half-time. A glance at the stats showed Essendon had 65 kicks to 33, 38 handballs to 18 in that term, 7 goals to 1.
If there's a quick turnover, as we just saw, and Young is able to pinpoint a man, Everett comes up with an easy shot on goal.
Going at his second right here. Kicks very nicely.
Danny Morgan, the shadow for Robert Harvey this afternoon. In towards centre half forward, the spoil from Wellman. Thompson flicks it on out to Jones. Have they the opportunity here to get the first of the second half? They have. Austin Jones.
Alves moved his men around. Glenn Coghlan completely nullified and frustrated Hurd, while Matthew Young moved into best on-field calculations with 29 possessions across the half-back line. A goal down at three-quarter time, the Saints would rally to kick 7 in the final quarter.
The big reach. Roving is by Lappin. He's found some space. Does the banana. Kicks the goal. Saints coming.
Young through midfield, kicks inside the 50. Lowe is there, and he's taken the mark, as it was at the other end.
In particular, the last few weeks, Fletcher started the season in fine fashion.
Lowe moves the ball. Healy, hurriedly, Burke's taken the mark. Plays on immediately. Brown running into an open goal. Has kicked it. They're trading goals.
The Saints edging it ever so much closer to their goal. Healy, very good give from Brown. No, didn't get out. Lappin, quickly onto the foot. The right foot bounces. It's bounced through. The Saints in front.
There's Healy. Beckett. Across the ground. Hudson. Kicks towards centre, half-forward contest inside the 50. Stewie Lowe. Metres in the clear, 25 out. Gets the goal.
After 8 games, St Kilda had nudged into the top 8. 3 wins in a row.
Down towards Hall. Knocked away by Wellman. Smith the crumbs. Quick hand pass away. This is Healy with some time. 40 metres out. Oh, great finish.
Spiderbag 4, Brown 3. Young, Brown and Everett the best.
Without being silly, you've moved into that Fab 4 area yourself. Your game has become crucial to the side.
Yeah, playing in the ruck now, it's definitely been a lot handier for myself. I prefer playing in the ruck, being able to play my sort of a game. And, you know, we've been winning the ball quite, out of the centre against, good opposition. So, it's going along nicely at the moment, that point of it. But even players like even Andrew Thompson and things like that who are just all putting their hand up to help out the Fab 4 has been definitely an advantage this year.
Only one goal so far.
Ben Holland's been given the job on Everett.
The crowds were coming back. They wanted to see the new-look Saints for themselves. 52,000 at Waverley on a Sunday saw the Saints open confidently.
50, Heatley and Turner one-on-one. Good punch from Turner. Winmar, a lot of the ball. Now to Lappin. Kicked a couple last week. Thompson is caught. Kellaway, the tough tiger. Interception from Brown. Here's a chance now for Tony Brown. Looks pretty good. The Saints won that one again.
Appreciating the action, Burke needs to get it up to the forward line quickly, which he does. Bullis fumbles. Winmar, Mr. Magic, what can he come up with here? Twists and turns, kicks it, goal! Kicks a beauty! The quick reply to the Saints. Matthew Knight's made a good point before the match to us that he said Gale and Charles complement each other, and I think that's a pretty fair assessment. Saints again. Tony Brown, who's been very elusive so far, he kicks, and he kicks his second as well.
Gaspar caught, ducked his head. Play on is the call. Gale again. Stewie Lowe, slips catch. You're out. Wants to move it quickly. Goes wide. Everett now. Excellent pass. Lace in or lace out. Only his 4th game. And lining up for his 10th goal of the season.
Some of that confidence had seeped away as Richmond fought its way back into the match, actually going into half-time with a 19-point lead. The big names answered the challenge. The young stars like Jones in his 50th game put up their hands.
And he has kicked his second for the corner.
Last line of defence for the Saints. Saves the day. Kicks it out wide, looking for Aussie Jones. 50-gamer, keeps it alive. Tony Brown to his flatmate. Cross to Jones again. Great spin, great evasion skills. And again, one bounce. Great work from Aussie Jones. Do it all on your own, son. Have a shot for a goal. Make yourself a hero. Kicks it long into the square. Lappin.
Just as good.
Great build-up from the St Kilda Rovers. Lappin puts his first one through and St Kilda's 7th. Keeps going Nathan Berg again on his left foot. The pressure showing, has to throw it straight onto his left foot without looking, but Peter Everett playing in front.
Dropping his second mark.
Aussie Jones on the burst, open goal for Saints. Good reply for the St Kilda Football Club.
They've won it at midfield, importantly. Holland tries to paddle it forward. Now, that's not a bad sort of a snap. That's a goal from Harvey. They've kicked 6 of the last 7 goals.
Joel Smith would win 3 Brownlow votes for his performance. 15 kicks and a couple of goals.
Third quarter, Burke to Winmar. 3 of the stars that St Kilda need to shine. Joel Smith takes the grab. Centering kick. Down to Stewie Lowe territory, but it's not Lowe, it's Heatley. But Heatley directly in front. He'll get the distance, and he's got the accuracy. Great start for the Saints in the final quarter.
he might go the other way. No, he's going to come straight out this flank. Everett in front, Tate behind, Burke. A little fumble, unusual for him. Brushes Kellaway onto the left, centering kick. Turner missed it. May prove costly. Let's wait and see. Gaspar has it paddled away from him. In a goal, Brown, and he's kicked it. 3 goals to Tony Brown. Just couldn't capitalise there on his chances, young Lappin. Saints might get another go at it here. Harvey, who's certainly lifted his game after half-time. Robert Harvey spears the pass in a little bit too low down there for his teammate in Heatley, who has been particularly good. Joel Smith, inside 50, goes at goal. Long, is it there? It's a goal!
15 second-half goals saw St Kilda record their 4th in a row by 47 points.
Kicks up forward, beats Heatley, now Stewie Lowe. Got Daniel Healy, open goal. Good smother from the Tiger defence. Now it's Lappin, open goal. Another one for the Saints.
Heatley and Lowe the significant goal scorers. Burke would get the 3 Brownlow votes.
Jace has come down, he's been very professional. His whole pre-season was really good, and it's just stood him in good stead for the season thus far, and he's really proving that he's been a real asset for us.
As he runs to centre wing.
With 1 win at Cardinia Park since 1983, St Kilda faced a stiff challenge when they travelled down the Princes Highway to Geelong for the round 10 clash. Fears that were vindicated when the Cats swept to the top of the ladder with an emphatic 28-point win. Gary Ayres successfully nullified St Kilda's big names, though amazingly Robert Harvey would collect a Brownlow medal vote, while his tagger Lee Colbert picked up 3. 4 first-half goals by Jason Heatley kept St Kilda to within 3 points at the long break. But after that, the game slipped away as errors crept into the Saints' makeup.
Straightens up. Oh, Lowe couldn't quite hang on to it. It was a good kick. McGrath. Here's Big Everett. Gives it off to Brown. Brown has kicked a goal from an impossible angle. I think he's kicked this.
Heatley with 4 continuing his rapid rise among league goal kickers. Lappin and Cripps the best.
Smith steps inside Turnbull, can't get away, feeds inside.
The Saints had never beaten the Eagles in Perth, and with Nicky Winmar dropped for disciplinary reasons after missing a compulsory training session, the odds were again stacked against the visitors. Threatening skies spurred St Kilda, and with the first use of the wind, they kick 7 first-quarter goals.
Depends on his ability to get there to spoil.
Lowe's pass, though, isn't up to the standard that what he received. St Kilda have the opportunity with Joel Smith on the left foot from 45 metres out. A great kick. Towards half-forward, Guy McKenna pushing and shoving, keeping his body between the opponent and the ball. Eventually wins out very well. Banfield taken away by Lappin. The short kick to no one in particular. Lowe does the body work. Sets up now for Harvey. He'll go right in, waltz in, kicks the goal.
Imagine 13 points then. 10 possessions for Robert Harvey. Here's Brown out of the middle. Shad Morrison needs to put a cowbell, I think, on Harvey at the moment, trying to keep up with him and know where he is. Cross half back, sliding in there with Simmons. Well played by Zilla. Got it across to Smith. Opportunity now for Lappin. Lappin likes it off the boot. They've got another one. The Saints on fire.
Here they go again. They've forced the ball towards half-forward through Jones. Banfield turns it back, but only as far as Burke. Steps through the traffic, gets away, has time to take a bounce. Kicks in towards centre-forward. Lappin's the target, can't quite get to him. The Eagles' defence in the front position, but at ground level, Jones very good on the left. Everett's made it. And this man is a goal-kicking ruckman. He's kicked 20 so far this season in the 10 games. Played in every game. Going for his first today. It's a goal to the Saints. In between 12 wins, the conditions now and the pace at which St Kilda open the game are really putting the pressure on the Eagles. Some heavy work there from Banfield. Heatley comes through for the Saints. They're working themselves an opportunity. Thompson off the ground, it's rolling, it's there!
The Eagles had won 13 straight games at Subiaco, but after a goal the second quarter, looked in danger of blemishing their record. Once again, it would be Robert Harvey who led the charge. His best on-ground performance was highlighted by this sensational goal late in the third quarter.
That's a sensational kick. Oh, Robert Harvey, excellent work. Clears it on out, straight down to the centre. Kemp and Burt in the back against Peter Matera. Advantage play. Here come the Saints again. They have the opportunity. Very good work, Heatley. Heatley, 45-degree angle, 40 metres out. Kicks. He's kicked very well. He's got 4.
None were more intent on beating the Eagles than discard Jason Heatley. His 4 goals provided ample evidence that the West Coast had erred badly in letting him go home to Melbourne. The Saints survived the expected Eagles fight back to win by 16 points.
Comes in towards him, does the spoiling, very good work. Lapham follows on up, steps around this way, that way. There's no one there. The ball bouncing, Jones going hard, the ball going harder. Jones is the hardest, he gets it. Your opportunity now is inside 50 from the boundary throw in. Jones eventually gets the ball, kick smothered. This gives Matthew Young an opportunity across the body from 50 out. Ball's going to bounce loosely in the square. There's Joel Smith off the ground. The umpire, a close look at it.
Heatley with 4, the major goal kicker in the match. Harvey with 35 possessions, the undoubted star.
They worked it pretty well, the Saints.
Stan Alves would describe the game against Carlton as quite outstanding. Well, for 3 quarters anyway. A 5-goal first quarter laid the foundations.
It's the first goal of the game. Joel Smith for the Saints. Cripps had gone on and hadn't been picked up. Great evasive skills. To centre half forward. Heatley. Jason Heatley, who kicked 3 in the first quarter last week at Subiaco. Dumps it long for Lowe. Well, great start for the Saints. 2 moves forward, 2 goals. So Hickmott gets the free kick. Heatley was well within goal-kicking distance, only about 25 metres out. Across to Bradley. Poor disposal by Craig Bradley. Straight to Aussie Jones. Runs around. Hall works to the back of the pack and marks. Barry Hall from no distance at all. Gets the Saints 5th.
By half-time, the lead would be 6 goals. And so it went on.
Here's Matthew Hogg mopping up. He bends it back. He kicks it straight to Joel Smith. Geez, a classy player, this kid. In towards full forward. Knocked out of it was Heatley. Over the back is Lowe, who kicks and has goal.
He's had 13 possessions. Everett hoiks the ball out of the centre circle. Heatley back to Burke. Bradley at half-back. Didn't handle it cleanly. They've lost it. Harvey gets it going forward. Robert Harvey out of the air. Low. Another one. Stewie's kicked 4. He leads the competition in hand passes, but has only 3 today. Here's Zilla. Up towards half forward. Low. Works to the front. Spills to Aussie Jones. He burns them off. 48 metres out. What a goal by Aussie. He's kicked a left foot and a right foot. Diesel Williams on the bench. He's had just 6 possessions.
Here's Hudson. Off the ground. He's got speed also. Here's a push behind the play. It's going St Kilda's way. Advantage. Heatley can give it to Jones. No, he won't. He draws the man and kicks it high. Where's Lowe? Hall is there. Can't mark. Still a chance. Silla to Lappin. Oh, Lappin. They've kicked another one.
Peckett to Lappin. Matthew Lappin over his head to Jones. Oh, great play. Lappin followed up.
He meant that.
Play on, said the umpire. I think he said didn't go far enough. Everett. Lowe is there. And still with Stewie Lowe. And now Stephen Zilla for the goal.
It was only in the final term, when the Blues kicked 8 goals in 15 minutes, did the Saints stutter. Then it took a Joel Smith goal after 5 straight behinds to steady the ship.
And they're under threat to lose the game. Smith. Long kick by Joel Smith. That's the sealer. A high ball. Silvani's there. Comes to the front to Hogg. Out with a siren.
The Saints with a most impressive victory. While Lowe kicked 4, it would be Burke and Lowe who shared the major Brownlow votes come September.
That the last 3 wins were against the last 3 AFL premiers. It shows a bit of a turnaround, doesn't it? You know, to be able to beat very good sides consistently.
Yeah, look, yeah, you're right in everything you say, and it is interesting. Until you pointed out to me, I wasn't aware of it, and I think that's just the intensity of the competition, because you're going in each week, and each week now is just a massively important game, and that one really has slipped under my guard until you said that. But I think one of the reasons it probably had is that those sides haven't always been up above us. I mean, you know, they're struggling now to get there, and you know, we're not the only sides that are beating them. I think there's some very significant things that are happening in the competition. None the least, of course, is sides winning away, interstate sides. You know, like beating you know, the Eagles over in Perth, and Adelaide now winning in Melbourne, and the rise of Port Adelaide and coming over here and winning over here. I mean, yeah, the game really has changed quite dramatically.
Running into space is Peckett. Thompson goes for distance for Stewie.
Late June, and the Saints were grimly hanging on to a place in the top 8. Thoughts of September focusing on just being there rather than loftier ambitions. Against the Western Bulldogs, the concentration waxed and waned. Twice St Kilda fought its way back into this match. Twice it relinquished its grip on the game. A goalless first quarter and a 4-goal break by the Dogs late in the third cost St Kilda the game.
Right foot kick. Saints have got 2 in a row. Contessa flicks it back. Nathan Burke fumble but flicks into the Saints forward line. Lowe with an opportunity. Croft in the front position. Takes it. Wheels around on his left foot. Liberatore and Jones. Both go to grounds. Jones up first. Comes around. Feeds a handball back. Lappin has time to settle. Kicks a goal and kicks a goal.
Winmar on his wing was terrific. Burke and Ziller the best of the rest.
I just think that, again, that with Nicky, and we've talked this about him, that for all his trials and tribulations, if he knuckles down, and I don't even think yet he's really got, you know, complete match fitness and stuff like, and gets his touch. I mean, when he turns it on, you're right, he's going to add another dimension to our game and to our side. And you know, I would like to think to Nicky that, you know, it would be wonderful for him, after all his service, for us to make the finals and him be hitting his straps in finals time and really showing the whole football world, when everybody's attention is on, just how great a player he is.
Good signs for St Kilda with Lowe, Burke and Harvey getting early possessions.
In 4 rounds, St Kilda had met and would ultimately beat the last 3 AFL premiers. North Melbourne this day ran into a white-hot St Kilda, who'd just the answer at full forward in a supercharged Jason Heatley.
Knocks this one. He's kicked accurately. First blood to the Saints.
Who belts it back into play, then it's knocked back towards the boundary line. Glenn Archer tackled hard. Blakey goes to ground. Here's Winmar, the Saints looking good. Winmar in the wide full forward. Good lead by Heatley and Terry. And now Heatley's playing off to bring it in towards goal. And he has found Lappin. But Terry, when your normal full-back is taken away.
And this has allowed St Kilda with the opportunity.
So Matthew Lappin from directly in front. It's another one.
Koski taps it down. Brown over the top. Everett waits. Line hand pass. Jones again. Back to Burke. Measures this one. Zilla. And they need a crummer. Harvey gives him that option and kicks the goal.
North, with superstars Carey and McKernan in the side for the second time for the season, watched the Saints start well and only get better. Heatley's stats were outstanding. 15 kicks, 10 marks and 9 goals won.
Everett bring it up to Low. Oh, back Low here. No, he couldn't quite get there. Heatley again. Yes, it's another one. That's his fourth. Everett against Mark Roberts. So Everett would have the height advantage, while Roberts actually won that. Rob Harvey again. Beautifully to Joel Smith from 50. It's an open goal. Oh, it's another one. Great handball by Harvey.
Read it beautifully. Shanahan, Shepherds or Burke flattened. Kick comes up by Cripps. Can St Kilda get another goal? Heatley charges in. 15 metres out. He's kicked number 8. Brown up towards full forward. Longmire. Heatley, number 24. Would love to make it 9. Burke takes the hand pass from Lappin and kicks a goal.
The standout contributor was ruckman Peter Everett. A dozen kicks and 22 knockouts.
Now Zilla. Here's Burke. He's been fantastic again. So is Pickett. Pickett drives it long. Oh, look at this. Robert Harvey's marked on his own. 20 metres out, directly in front. Not often you see Robert Harvey deep in the forward line taking a mark.
Yeah, this will be a just reward.
This is for his second of the game. He pops it through.
A 6-goal final quarter gave the Saints a 54-point win.
The busy eyes looking for options. Heatley. Well, Saints fans would love him to make it number 9.
They've just had so many good players. It's a raffle.
I'm glad I'm not doing them. Heatley for number 9. Hard angle. And he has got goal number 9.
Heatley's 9, second only to Bill Moore's 11 for the Saints in 1936. He'd get the 3 Brownlow votes.
I'm not under the same sort of pressure that I was in the first 3 or 4 rounds of the year. That would be silly not to say that. But I think also that the pressure now comes with the knowledge that now, if you're now saying that this is the year and this is the time that we believe we're going to make our mark, that if you now don't continue on and with 8 games to go, if we weren't to produce in those 8 games, well, obviously I'd be under enormous pressure, and I would go anyway, because if I couldn't do the right thing then, I would certainly know in my own mind it was time to give somebody else a chance.
An ordinary looking kick across the ground.
So to Adelaide. And it is worth reflecting that on this Saturday night in July, the Saints were 5th on the ladder, having won 8, lost 7. Adelaide 3rd with a 9-6 record. Some 10 weeks later, they'd be playing for far higher stakes. While Harvey gathered 43 possessions in a spectacular solo display, his team led by 12 points at half-time.
Taken away by Young, round the body, bends it back towards Winmar. Oh, bowls a lot. Harvey could goal here. Robert Harvey, 45 metres out. He shoots towards goal, and the Saints have got their second to the corner.
Quick hands. They try and press their way through. Here's Winmar. He's got it. Nicky Winmar brings it in front of goal. Big chance from Mark at the back. Heatley off the ground. No, he misses it. Still Heatley. Oh. Here's Lappin. Here's the goal to Everett.
Straight kick in it. Ran back in the thick of things once again. Now St Kilda have been able to reply in the past. What can they do this time? Burke looks down towards Stuart Lowe at the back, and he takes it high now.
Sandy, that was excellent.
34 goals for the season. Going to be okay, and straight over the goal umpire's head.
This is Healy. Healy swings onto his left boot. An ordinary kick as he... Oh, tunnel ball job. Down the half board, here's the chance. Aussie, no, it's not. It's Smith. Smith comes inside. Robbie Harvey can kick a goal. Inside 50, Harvey kicks. Making his goal, Robert Harvey. Great goal. The Saints go forward.
In a close checking affair, they'd be overtaken and finally succumb by 10 points.
Rodney Jefferson, he's lost it. Heatley's got it. Bends it back, Heatley. Have a look at that. Great goal.
Harvey 29 kicks, 14 hand passes, 3 more Brownlow votes. Heatley and Harvey the major goal kickers with 2 each. And that loss would signal the beginning of an amazing streak.
through Lectus.
The turning point may well have been this match, Hawthorn at Waverley. Later, media scribes would describe the 79-point margin as flattering, not to the victorious St Kilda, but to the vanquished Hawthorn. Harvey would again dominate with more than 40 possessions for the second week in a row.
Relaxed action, and he puts it through. Cripps will drive it to the half-forward line. Low is there, can't mark. He flew through the air. Here's Aussie Jones. He's going to bend it back. Oh, great shot at goal by Jones. He's kicked it, I think. Yes. Well, it's on centre wing. It's only 13 seconds to go. That's Vidovic bringing it down towards the half-forward line. Oh, danger here. Langford. Taken by Brown. Oh, gee, they may score a goal. 45 metres, but directly in front. A big kick coming up. It's not bad. I think he's goal. Beautiful kick.
Harvey's kick to Healy. Good pick up, Daniel Healy. Winmar hasn't been in it yet. Thompson. Could be a great goal into the wind. What a kick by Thompson.
Everett would supply the height. Lowe would help himself to 8 marks. Heatley would kick 4 goals 8. Nathan Burke would be, well, Nathan Burke, tough and tenacious. And St Kilda, with a 9-goal third term, would simply blow the Hawks away.
So here's Joel Smith. This would be a dream start to the second term for the Saints. Not a great kick. Oh, it fell over the line. Got there.
Yeah, 3 of them came at him. Lawrence and Lowe. Lawrence won it. Robert Harvey is there. Did he keep it in? Yes, he did. Good play. Smothered up the boot. Oh, look, he's got it again. Harvey. Fantastic play by Harvey. Peter Everett is normally a pretty good kick for goal. This will make it hard for the Hawks if he kicks this. And he sneaks it in, I think. Yes. What was that for? Although that was a bit lucky, that one to Jones. He's gone. No, he isn't. Good play by little Aussie. Bends it back in the front of goal. Everett! Oh, brilliant mark by big Peter Everett. So Peter Everett kicked his 4th. Their defence is tightened up. Shanahan's a good fullback. Wakeland's doing his job.
Tony Brown inside the 50. Here's Cripps. Oh, goal. Smith just running off Crawford and getting another one. 3 goals to Joel Smith.
Is finally picking up Harvey there. I wonder if he can... Oh, he can't stop him either. Here he goes again. Kick number 23, Harvey. Finds Lappin. Lappin to Zilla. Oh, beautiful kick. Great lead by Heatley. He's going for his 3rd from directly in front, Jason Heatley. He lays back. I think he's kicked another one. He has. And here's Healy. Oh, good play by Healy. Doesn't muck around and kicks it long. Heatley. No mark. Oh, here's big Spider Everett. He's caught. Heatley. He's caught. Hand pass. Goal coming up the low. You wouldn't believe it.
Graham couldn't take the mark. Winmar. Well done, Nicky. Unusual to see him in number 50. Stewie Lowe has kicked another one.
Heatley, Lowe and Everett shared a dozen goals. Harvey took the 3 Brownlow votes for the second week in a row. And St Kilda moved into 4th spot on the ladder. A year earlier, they were 12th.
I'm convinced, in my mind, that the players are capable of playing finals football and acquitting themselves well with the brand of football they play. And I think as each week goes by and as we perform at the level that they've been doing, I think the players are gaining that belief. And there's a genuine faith that they can do it.
When he first came to Waverley in '87, the then starry-eyed West Australian could hardly hide his excitement as he lined up on Essendon's big guns. There was never the thought that he would be back 10 years later, preparing for his 200th, the first Aboriginal to reach the milestone.
To all the Aboriginal people in Australia as well, you know, like who do associate with football, if you got the talent to go out and give it your best, I mean, achievements will come.
The career highlights of the dual Saints best and fairest winner are truly memorable. His skills have always been regarded as some of the sharpest in the game. But Winmar's decade in the football spotlight hasn't been without well-publicised controversy. His proud Aboriginal heritage often seeing him dragged into the headlines.
We are humans and we make mistakes, and I mean, I'm just glad that the footy club has stuck by me.
Winmar believes reaching the milestone has given him fresh motivation. He's looking forward to more brilliant performances in the years ahead.
I'll try and head for the 250 marks, just see if I can get that.
Mark Beretta, 7 Nightly News.
Can't expect to outmark Stuart Lowe from behind.
So Nicky Winmar created a milestone to be proud of. The first Aboriginal player to reach 200 AFL games. Against Brisbane, St Kilda didn't produce its best football. Alves was first to admit that. On the positive side, St Kilda won, and that was a sign of the marked mental toughness that had been developed. The Lions were coming off a 5-game winning streak and were 5th on the ladder. By half-time, the Lions would trail by 30 points.
Winmar steps out, left foot, Nicky Winmar, has he done it? They love it. Dick Foss comes through, his kick off the ground is more effective, but Winmar turns it back his way. Inboard to Wakeland, quickly onto the foot, top of the square, Everett, left hand being held by the right, advantage, played, goal, missed, goal. Zilla turns it back the Saints' way. Dick Foss spoils. The Lions' defence under immense pressure. Great tackle there from Wakeland. Lappin it is. Wakeland it is, I'm sorry. Great run and chase. We've been a very consistent player over the previous 3 years with the Saints.
I think he's only benched just to get a mismatch up forward with Bardsley coming on.
So Shane Wakeland deliberately and effectively goals. Takes a couple of bounces through half-back. There's a heap of space here now. He's running to a little bit of a dead end. He's gone. The cousin got him. Kicked the kick at Chilton. Now into the forward line. Wakeland looking to rebound, and here comes Jones. Another burst. A long kick. He's got it.
The final scoreline showed only 5 Brisbane goals, the Northerners' lowest tally in their 17 meetings. The 34,000 at Waverley were watching a dress rehearsal for the qualifying final, a match that was destined to go the same way.
Good kick, low front position. Smith bounces for him. No, now bounces away. Wakeland feeds in ball. Jones feeds outboard to Bardsley. Standing start, right foot, round, it's home.
Winmar and Heatley 3 goals apiece. Jones, Lappin and Zilla the best.
Gavin Brown punches from Winmar. Brown, momentous.
A crisp, cool August Sunday. 68,000 at the MCG for the Saints' crucial clash with the Collingwood side still hopeful of September action. A sustained second quarter saw the Saints score 13 times. The return of 4 goals would give them a half-time lead.
Doctor going out to Young as we speak to Everett in the meantime from 15 metres out. The Spider kicks. Right on the goal umpire. That's a difficult one to watch from here. He's got it. Stewie Lowe, short of left half forward. Michael in the pack. Liddell was there as well. Thompson's tackle ineffective. Wakeland has a ping at the goals. That was Shane Wakeland, and he's kicked it.
So half forward for the Saints now. Here he comes again, the man. Left foot, front position, Heatley. Heatley, 4 goals, 8 2 weeks ago, 3-2 last week. His first chance today is a goal.
Longhorst slapped out the front. Williams and Harvey, 2 of the greats of the current game. Joel Smith coming into it in the second quarter. Oh, plenty of time to steady. He kicks and he goes. He had a fortnight to kick that. Wakeland kicks into Russell. Ball flipped out to Jones, making his presence felt in this term. Harvey's hand pass effective again to Jones.
Oh, great.
That is magnificent stuff. Brown on the burst, inside 50, deserves a goal. Will they get it? Everett at the back. Yes, the mark. No, he has to play on. Snaps, and he's got it. Or was it touched? It's a goal.
Did have the job on him now, back into the centre bounce area against Vidovic, but they can't. The Saints are not to be denied. Burke, Harvey, eventually to Daniels. The kick of Jason Daniels right to the square. They are on fire, the Saints.
Again, Harvey would have the ball on a string. Another 36 possessions. Another 3 votes from the umpires. The Collingwood fight back in the third quarter was expected. The Saints by a point into the last. Ziller and Peckett ruled the backline. Everett again hard to match.
So the ball being bounced 25 metres out from St Kilda goal. Everett to Wakeland. He's got 3. Curls it. He's got 4.
Harvey tackled by Marnie. Aussie Jones, he does that well, the youngster. Jones's kick, a penetrating drop punt. Michael from the back tries to punch. Winmar gets clear of his tagger Brown. Shuey low into an open goal. He kicks and he's goal.
St Kilda by 22 points. Shane Wakeland 4, Heatley and Everett 3 each. Harvey, fantastic.
Goal number 20 for him this year.
Sydney had not been beaten at their Harbourside headquarters in 20 games. All that was about to change. This was a game that made the sceptics stand up and take notice. Midway through the second quarter, Sydney led by 38 points, but then St Kilda took over. Harvey weaved his magic. Lowe and Everett with the Twin Peaks up forward.
It's the last kick of the quarter and a very important one for St Kilda, who's seen Sydney kick away, and Stuart Lowe has finished the term with a goal, and it's his second. Pushes it back again towards Carey. Ziller maybe a little quicker. Flicks it in towards Winmar. Interfered with. Couldn't take the mark. It doesn't matter. Harvey has it. He's 48 metres from home. He needs a goal. And St Kilda score their 5th.
Well, the Swans have come through a spell of wet weather and have kicked 22 and 25 goals in the last couple of weeks. They look as though they might better it today, but Winmar comes out of the middle and kicks a top-running goal. Couple in a row now would be handy for the Saints. Harvey out of the middle. It bounces up towards the 50. Low. Back to Burke. Oh, well done. Didn't quite reach Daniels, but he slipped the tackle. Now he puts it up in the air. Lappin. Got it. Matthew Lappin right in front. And that is 2 in a row now for the Saints.
Tony Brown there, Rowan Wharf also, up in the air it goes. St Kilda desperate for a goal here. Snap partly smothered, could have almost been a free kick to Dunkley, who was held without it, didn't go very far. Jack Daniels, now sometimes he's an interesting kick. Well, he comes across the ground and he finds ways of it. 14 points lead at quarter time. As you say, they get this one now, brings them back to 21. Still well and truly in the ball game. That could bring rain. It's high, it's just about got the distance, I think, that kick. Deceivingly high, but it's straight and it's long enough. Running past. Floats a left foot pass to Harvey. He's like a pound of margarine, isn't he? He can just escape.
He's a hard man to tackle with that just swerve of the hips.
The Spider for his second. The left footer looks okay, and St Kilda need more of those rapidly. Stevens forced to stand his ground, and he caught one in the back from Stuart Lowe. He's slow to pick himself up. Winmar from Burke, wider to Wakeland, who marks inside 50.
And that's what you have to do, because Ruse was caught 10 metres from Wakeland because he plays that way, so...
He's got to kick this first. Wakeland, a long bomb. Pretty good kick too. He's got his second.
By three-quarter time, the margin was back to 16 points. The final quarter was a beauty.
Roaring for Sydney, but Ziller gets the Saints out of the middle. Mark dropped in defence. Wakeland the hand pass. Heatley bangs for goal and kicks it. 3 points the margin. Peckett took it a long way. Heatley in the middle of the ground. Pretty open forward line. Wakeland's there, Ruse from behind. Brown flips the ball out. Healy, ball bouncing. So close. Aussie Jones, did he kick it? The Saints in front.
Only as far as Shanahan. St Kilda go charging forward again. Into half-forward. Stuart Lowe takes the mark. 45 metres out directly in front. From 46 metres. The drop punt. Well, he's made a liar out of Lee. He's done it with ease. He's done it with ease.
Towards the outer side, Lowe met head on, and Stewie Lowe will take a free kick. Advantage. It spills out to Zilla. Long to the goal square. Wakeland's there. Spills off. Leppard. Great shot. That's the winner. The Saints are...
St Kilda by 9 points, 4 on end, and into second position behind Adelaide. Lowe and Everett the major contributors. Harvey with his 6th 3-voter for the Brownlow.
Normally at this time of the year, there is a gap has opened up, hasn't there? And you're talking about, you know, 8 and probably, as I said, 9 or 10 sides now fighting for the 8. But as you said now, I mean, it's really anybody. And you know, and the amazing thing is that, you know, you lose a game and you're sitting 3rd or 4th, and the next week you can be 9th or 10th. You know, and so I mean that just puts enormous pressure, I think, on everybody. But again, fantastic for the whole competition.
Jones is bamboozled by the wind, so is Keogh on for his first run for the year. Burke, clever.
Fremantle was knocking on the door of the top 8. With their distinctive brand of football, they are always a danger. At Waverley on August 16, they jumped the Saints. On a blustery day, they led by 7 points at quarter time before St Kilda reeled them in.
Full forward Jason Heatley, low and short. Looking for his 50th goal in his 18th game. And I think it looks pretty good from the sound of the Saints supporters. It is.
You think the boys will be pretty happy?
I think so. At quarter time, if we can just hold on for another five more minutes, then we'll be very happy.
That's about all there is. In fact, a little bit less. The Dockers try to pinch it here through kick it. He runs into a brick wall. Oh, speaking of pinching things, Winmar! Great goal! The Saints with the wind in this term. It's a gale here at Waverley, blowing to the St Kilda left forward pocket. Burke over the shoulder, kicks towards Lowe. Punch away by Madigan. A little give to Everett. That came from Cripps. Long bomb into the goal square, and it carries it through. That's how to use the wind.
And they still trail by 7 points as Burke's courage. Now the ball lands in the Vidovic arms. Gets a quick kick. Lappin, his cleverness. Stewie Lowe doing some rough stuff. Good work from this big Saint as Lappin's kick finding Everett, leading out from goal. It's good play for the Saints. The first piece of system. There have been a lot of mistakes in these conditions. So Everett, slight angle, leans back and puts it through the middle.
Back to the champ. Kick could have been a little bit better. He hit Heatley in the face. Parker tries to spin out of trouble. Over the head of McGovern. Peckett has a ping at the scoring area. The St Kilda mark is down there.
Is that Lappin? Yeah.
It is.
Just better judgment then.
Harvey's second kick to a leading player, not good, and looks like they might have turned it over.
Lappin from 20 metres out, and he squeezed it in for a goal. Just.
Sure, Berkey will claim that as a pass. Gray's kick is long, looking for Spider Everett in front. Can't mark. Well rowed by Jones. Back to Keogh on the right foot. Not a very good kick. Looking for Cripps under pressure. Well done, Jason Cripps. 50 metres. Put this one through. You're a hero, son. It's a great goal. Fantastic stuff. Kick is knocked on by Sinclair.
It was not a game that either side controlled. Rather a game that was there to be won. And that is just what St Kilda did, by 13 points.
Over the top. Peckett showing some strength and courage. Harvey, cleverness and great vision, finding Thompson on the run through half forward. His long kick will land in the square or over the top. A great goal to Andrew Thompson. Great stuff for the Saints.
Everett 3, Lappin and Thompson 2 apiece. Skipper Burke winning the 3 Brownlow votes.
In short to the centre, good kick. Gets to Daniel.
When St Kilda met Melbourne for the first time in 1997, the Saints were 15th on the ladder. That was round 6. In round 21, they would move into top spot and stay there. At the MCG on a Friday night, St Kilda staged a blistering opening. Jason Heatley kicked 5 first-quarter goals as the Saints piled on 7-1.
Everett to do the ruck work. Ingerson, the Melbourne player, contesting that ball up. Thompson back to Burke. Burke straightens up, kicks towards full forward, 2-on-1. Oh, great mark, Heatley. Third in line, and he just grabbed it out of the air with strength. So Heatley, 51 goals from 16 games so far this year. And he's kicked his 52nd goal for the year. He's second for the game.
Centering kick good to Zilla. Can attack now, and Zilla runs 10 metres and then kicks it as hard as he can to full forward. Heatley's got it. Well, he had it before I actually said it, but he just in the box seat, you know he's going to take them. He's currently 5th on the goal kickers this year behind Modra, Rocker, Cummings and Lloyd. And he goes for it and he kicks his 3rd. Cripps out of the centre. Oh, good effort there by Lapham, was it? At half forward. Might have hurt himself a bit. Gutsy performance. The St Kilda trainers out to see him in a hurry.
Jason Heatley, 24 plays 7. Heatley, a magnificent long kick. He's got 4 goals in the first quarter.
Shanahan's got hold of it now. Comes away. Belts it as far as he can to Barry Hall at centre half forward, and he's taken a good one. Quickly onto Brown. Brown onto the left to full forward. Heatley held on to front spot round the body. And has he missed? Yes. Now he's going to get another kick, is he? Now, umpire coming back. I reckon Heatley's going to get another kick for around the shoulder.
Around the shoulder, yes.
Fred Fanning, well, that record might be in danger. 18 goals as Heatley goes and kicks his 5th.
Nathan Burke, for the 2nd week in a row, would be judged best on the ground by the umpires. His 29 possessions, a major factor. 6 goals up at half-time, 7 up at three-quarter time.
If the Saints don't win by 10, Barry Hall, good mark. They probably haven't done their job tonight with what's left for Melbourne. Barry Hall has been good. Belts it to full forward. Everett gets involved. Ingerson. Jones waiting, try, need his left foot step, got it. Goal, good way to start.
Aussie Jones kicks it into the pocket, and Hall has it. Hall in towards the centre of the ground and straightens it up for St Kilda. Peckett goes for goal. Lovely long kick, straight kick, goal to Justin Peckett. Only seconds left in the game.
St Kilda far too good as they moved into top spot with a 52-point win, boosting their percentage enough to overtake Geelong.
So Barry Hall will have the last kick of the game from about 45 metres. Here's a chance to kick a goal from here. Lovely kick, beautiful kick, 2 goals to Hall.
Heatley 7-3 to 57 for the season. Brown, Burke and Hall 2 each. Burke the imposing Hall, and Heatley the best.
Pedals to the half-back line. Tony Brown is there.
Port Adelaide's task was straightforward. They had to beat St Kilda at Football Park to complete a fairy tale debut season in the AFL and make the finals. It was the 176th and last home and away match of the season, and at half-time Port would lead by a point. St Kilda's star players were too numerous and too talented for the new kids on the block.
And to give St Kilda the lead, he does it. They're away.
The wrestle continues on the wing, drop down to ground level, back inboard dangerously because Harvey gets on the end of it, feeds it off to Daniels, takes a bounce, need to get your kick in, Jack. Pressure, and that'll allow Port to get back and defend. Numbers are there, they've got it now. Rombos flicks it on out the back the wrong way. Heatley gathers the back ball and puts it through.
Eagleton does well. Donald Dickey wants to get clear, but he can't. Turned over and taken by Aussie Jones. He hasn't missed a game this year as young Oz. Down to towards the 50. This could be dangerous. Is the kick in towards full forward to give St Kilda the lead? And it does. Well done by Tony Brown. Down in their scoring zone. Lowe tries to centre it. That's okay. Comes back again. Pressure on Port. They're equal to the task. Primus tries to do a lot. He's given it away. And the goal has been kicked by Rodney Keogh.
Harvey would wrap up the match and the Brownlow this night in front of 38,000 fans. With Heatley kicking 5 more and a raft of players contributing, the Saints just edged further and further away.
Running straight, kicking straight, it's home. His options long, here it is. They set themselves, the spoil was good. Rebound out low, charges through on the right foot, heads back towards Daniels, can't quite take it. Heatley steps out on the left foot. He's got past everyone, he's squeezed it, home. Just squeezes it back around. Young in the front position, can't get it. Keogh, bit of strength, steps out. Ziller on the left foot, it's high. They're going to have to fly from behind. It's knocked down again. Thompson's the rover. Dives in on the ball. Needs to get down. Brown, left foot, gives it to Jones. He on the left. He over the shoulder. He's put it there.
As John Cale said later, his Port players couldn't match the on-ball strength supplied by Harvey, Burke, Lowe, Winmar and Jones.
Jones centering back into half forward. Big pack of players. No mark taken. Heatley's the first to recover. Goes for goal and kicks it for the Saints. Jones's hand pass. Burke. Inboard to Brown. Away goes St Kilda. Tony Brown has got Everett on a lead. The big man, 1, 2 grabs. Not paid. Jason Trianides picks it up. Goes back inside towards Thompson. It's only got to sit. Andrew Thompson will get a shot at goal and has kicked the beauty.
Inside St Kilda's attacking 50. Everett over the top, drops it down. Bond and Brown. Brown for Port. Gives it straight to Nicky Winmar. Standing start for Nicky. He's drilled it in.
For the first time since 1965, St Kilda had finished as minor premiers, on top of the ladder, on top of the world.
Brewers are waiting down in front. He's beaten. He's beaten by Peter Everett, who shoots from 46 metres, and St Kilda are going to go to the top of the ladder.
Heatley would finish 5th in the race for the Coleman medal with 62 goals, 19 behind Tony Modra. Harvey would top the league in handballs with 271. Disposals with 653. Nathan Burke would amass 408 kicks, the 3rd best in the AFL. While Stewie Lowe was again the leading mark taker with 167.
The fact that we came across here and played a side who was really going to give us a real darn good hit out, and that we had to, I think, pull out all stops. And I was just pleased that, as I said in the second half, that we stuck to what we needed to do and probably did even a little bit better. And came through what was always going to be a very tough game. So I mean that was pleasing. As I said, we now go into the finals knowing that we've come off a hard game, and the players have done well. So I'm not sort of going as if it had been a soft game and worrying about things like that. So it was a pleasing preparation.
Go to Burke. John Russell?
Greg Street felt he was held in.
Brisbane went into the final series with 4 straight losses and the question mark about their ability to handle Waverley's vast acreage. In round 17, the Saints had kept the Lions to 5 goals. This assignment would be far tougher. 50,000 were there on the Sunday and many didn't like the trend. Peter Everett was looking ominous. 2 of the Saints' first 4 goals.
Dangerously into the forward line. Danger for the Lions. They attack the ball. They all go down. Hall sits it up to the left foot at Everett, who's wandered down. He's gone bang with a big left leg. It's home.
Calf injury and has missed the last 5 games. In between wing and half forward for St Kilda. Down goes Fletcher. Toe poke gets it to the 50. Johnson, you're under pressure. Hand pass to Hall. Hall hand pass to Winmar. This is close. Goal! I reckon it's over. Well, the breeze might help this ball in, but it's nearly the proverbial impossible angle. Centering kick. Off hands to Heatley. Kick partly smothered. Bamford. There's been a lively inclusion late in the season for the Lions. His kick sits up for Harvey. He'll still keep getting the ball, injured or not. Off to Winmar. 55 metres out. Oh, good kick by Nicky Winmar. Everett.
Mark Payne.
Mark right on the line to Peter Everett.
Because we see Robert Harvey receiving some more attention too from one of the St Kilda trainers.
Everett for his second.
Yeah, the conditions down here, it's still very windy. It's probably about a 3 or 4 goal breeze to the St Kilda end, but it's very swirly, so it's difficult to judge at ground level out in the field. But if you look at the flags, it's definitely a 3 to 4 goal breeze.
So with under 5 minutes of play left, Peter Everett comes out of that contest holding his left shoulder.
It would be a costly day. Ruck giant Peter Everett down with a broken collarbone. Heatley in trouble with an ankle. Harvey had hurt his back. At half-time, the Lions led by 5 points. The Saints' inaccuracy costly. This was tough, back-to-the-wall stuff.
Keogh! Go!
Harvey the second down towards Burt. Surges through, a quick kick out. There's space, but there's Lions. The three of them hold front position. Bamford in front of Jones, taken to ground in the tackle. That's dropping it. 20 goals, 8 for the season, so accuracy really is his forte. He'll kick from right on 50, guides the ball with the assistance of the breeze. Saints have their first of the second half.
Alves and his match committee made the moves. Match-winning ones, it turned out. Lowe went into the ruck, where he would dominate. Darryl Wakelin moved forward to cover the injured Heatley. Keogh was swung into the game and onto the ball.
Gowes keeps it alive, searching it forward. Cripps, eyes off the ball momentarily, but wins it on the second occasion. Out to Harvey, breaking across halfback Robert Harvey. Out into the path of Thompson. Doesn't get to that player. Sierakowski tries to keep it alive. Does. Brown, left foot to Daniels. He's played on. Called that way by the umpire. The right foot deep into the pocket for Wakelin. Hard against the line. Keeps it in. Handballs back in board. Keogh, he's kicked 2. He's going for 3. He could be the hero.
Inside 50. Thompson waits at the back. Might have taken a mark. Oh, overrun by Dion Scott. Thompson ran out of teammates. Scott.
Well, they've lost it now. Hall with an opportunity. Intercepted the handball. He's curled it back with the breeze. Great goal, Barry. So Stewie Lowe hoping to get his 50th goal here today, but shan't get it because he's been asked to do all the ruck work. Harvey just starting to weave something into the game. The amount of time this man can create is quite incredible. The kick to Hall. Right on the 50-metre line. There's 2 Saints down here. Which one wants it? Stewie. So Stuart Lowe now with the opportunity. 35 metres out on the angle. Stewie's got one.
White has been picking up Tony Brown most of the day, and here he is contesting in the ruck. They've lost control. Thompson. Good hand pass. Wakelin. It gets there.
An 8-goal third term and 7 more in the last ensured St Kilda's safe path through to the preliminary final.
Hamstring injury, but Harvey comes through on the left. He's got it.
But what a cost. Everett, a sad sight.
Meanwhile, it was the last supper for Saints Spider Everett, a fractured collarbone ending his season.
When I stood up, I felt it like, 2 bones rubbed together, so I thought, I'm just going to walk straight off here, there's something wrong here, so unfortunately it's a fracture.
The giant ruckman believes Stuart Lowe now becomes the key big man in the Saints' premiership plans.
Looking at the other ruckman and the other sides, I'd say Lowe can probably hold down most of them.
Mark Doran, 7 Nightly News.
3 goals each to Lowe and Keogh. Lowe with 19 kicks, 9 marks and 19 telling hitouts, the best player on the ground. Harvey 33 possessions, played an inspirational second half.
The 1997 Coach of the Year, and a very worthy one. He's taken this team to a preliminary final. They've won their last 8, 15 out of 18. Stan Alves from St Kilda. Stan, congratulations.
Yeah, look, it's a humbling thing. There's no doubt about that. I mean, we're not only talking about the people whose names have been thrown up, but I mean, you flashed to David before, and Sheeds and people like that, and for a person like myself, I don't see myself any better than any of these people, and to be given this honour is, the only word I can use is humbling.
King having a bit to say.
The value of the week's break was blatantly evident when the Saints faced reigning premiers North Melbourne on a wet and wintry Friday night in front of 77,000 at the MCG. North facing up to its third finals match in 13 days. St Kilda fresh and raring to go.
Comes across to Cripps. Cripps inside the 50. Heatley falls to the ground. Martin crawls after it. Oh, brilliant. The pick up by Winmar. Steadies on the 50. Goes for goal. It's floating. Low. Magnificent. Stewie Lowe directly in front. This to stretch the lead. It's straight.
So Lowe gets his first.
Socket off the ground by Cook. Grabbed in the middle by Daniels, who boots it towards half forward. Bounces off the chest of Hall. Heatley again. Bounces over the man. In front. Runs on. Beat them both. It's another goal.
The ferocity of the St Kilda attack stunned many. The perfect tackle on Corey McKernan would play a major role in North's demise.
Oh, they're pumped the Saints, and so they should be. It goes to Keogh in midfield. Had to break a tackle, and he did. He's through. He runs to 55. He's a good kick normally. Goes long down towards Lowe, and he's taken the mark. He's taken the mark.
Lowe would take 12 marks.
Here's Lowe to convert then. Going at his second. Very important goal.
As King this time goes to the outer side again. He wanted it a long mile. Abbott picks it up, however, and he gives it to Oz again. He'll go for the second time. Heatley, yes, another one.
Certainly Heatley's kicked 4 goals, but he's done an excellent job to stop Pike giving any rebound run out of the North backline as well.
10 minutes to three-quarter time. Cook releases Harvey. Harvey from half forward, just wide of Lowe. It was touched by Lowe. It got to Hall. Heatley from about 40 metres out has got another one. That's 5.
Heatley kicked 3 in the third quarter.
Quite get a handle on it. Back to Thompson. Important player in the first quarter to full forward. Heatley's got it. He's just too good for them. He's going for his third in this term. It was the end. He kicked his 5 in the first quarter against Melbourne. He's got it. He doesn't miss.
When North hit back, as expected in the final quarter, Nicky Winmar provided the answer.
Pokes it inside 50. Look at Thompson go. He gives it across to Nicky Winmar. Go for goal, Nicky!
Keogh will send it back in. Keogh forward of the wing. Well inside the 50. Heatley has paid the mark. This should end all resistance. Gun barrel straight.
The Saints into the grand final for the first time since 1971, and the joy was obvious.
Plants are only as good as your men, and they did a great job. We were pretty stung by what people said about us during the week. All the sort of wrote us off, and that suited us fine. I know they won't write us off in the grand final.
Oh, it's 11 years, Dipper, and this is what it's all about. I can't wait. Absolutely fantastic. The boys are sensational. That's what with the guys down there.
Heatley 7, Lowe and Winmar 3 each. Lowe judged best on ground with another huge marking display in the greasy conditions. For the first time, the counting of votes in the Charles Brownlow Medal took place at the Palladium Ballroom at Melbourne's Crown Casino. More than 1,000 of the best-known faces in football ready to honour the outstanding player of 1997. 12 St Kilda players would figure. Once again, 2 of them would be there in the top half dozen at the end.
St Kilda, R. Harvey. 3 votes.
And I think everyone here, there could be no more worthy winner of the Brownlow Medal than Robert Harvey.
They've started to call you money bags, haven't they? It used to be just banger and halves over the last week, but you've had a week like none other. I mean, you went into a preliminary final, you played brilliantly personally, the club has made its first grand final since '71, you've got a chance of being a premiership player, you won all the media awards during the week, and tonight you've won the big one.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously just wrapped with the way things have gone so far. I just really hope that that we can finish it off on Saturday. That's the main thing.
The perfect start to grand final week.
Stan, do you reckon Malcolm will play the 3 tools? Do you think Keating will stay in and Pittman will come as well?
How come I'm doing this? Malcolm, are you going to play the 3 tools? Is Robert Harvey and Nathan Burke and Stewie Lowe going to all play? All those blokes?
Yeah, we're playing halves in the ruck.
Okay.
Combat you there, so yeah, I think he will. I mean, yeah. I'm saying that in the hope that he'll say, well, I won't do it now.
Past players were in the limelight.
It'll be very emotional to me personally, and then I can't talk, and I'd be embarrassed. So rather than put myself through that stress of doing that, I'm better off here and enjoy the game better.
The streets of Melbourne were packed as the players of Adelaide and St Kilda took part in the traditional motorcade. Then the big one.
Again slaps it. Thompson tries to drive through, but he's claimed by hard. It finishes with Burke off to Lappin. He's made a positive start. Back to Burke again. Tumbles a punt down towards the half-forward line. Pittman's got to sit and wait. Maybe Winmar will get another chance. Lowe uses absolute strength. He gives it to Hinckley. He shoots for goal, and the Saints are on the ball. First for the day.
8 possessions. He averages 29 over the past 3 seasons against the Crows. Harvey out wide. Jones is running.
And that's danger for the Crows. Costa and Bashir. Jones the length of the ground nearly. 60 out. Will he take them all on? Handball inside to Thompson. A fumble. Back. Aussie Jones goes with the left. Kicks it and gets it. What a goal.
Keogh to Burke, almost taken high. Wren butters up. Burke may get another chance, so too Keogh. Rodney Keogh from 48 metres. Wobbles it into full forward. Barry Hall again. The boy from Broadford started out his sporting life as a boxer. Now looking for his 3rd goal in as many minutes. Runs round, shoots. St Kilda fans like it. They love it.
At half-time, the Saints led by 13 points.
The Brownlow medalist. Towards half-forward, James got a hand to it. Couldn't take it cleanly. An opportunity now for Winmar. Nicky Winmar for goal. The Saints desperately need a lift.
Inside 50. Burke underneath it. High fly from the Saints. They need somebody to pull some magic from nowhere. Thompson could kick a goal. High ball. Good kick. Right there. Crows have got numbers. It's through. It's a goal. So there's nothing left now but to celebrate.
The final margin, 31 points. And just like the Saints of 65, the men of 97 had finished top, started red-hot favourites, and lost to a team that finished 4th.
But shit, I'm bloody hurting. I'm hurting for me boys. Because I've never been so proud of anybody in my life for what they've done this year.
Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Oh, how I want to be at St Kilda. Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Oh, when the Saints go marching in.